you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Living the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you with a bite-sized brain snack. These episodes were inspired because of our obsession with snacks. We love to fuel our bodies with these little bite-sized nutritious foods. And we've also talked about adding movement snacks into your day the same way. So we have food and we have movement covered, but what about our brains? It's time to add some little bite-sized brain snacks into your week. And that's what these episodes will be all about. Bite-sized wellness wisdom for lifelong learners. So let's open up and satiate our minds. This brain snack is all about getting a little uncomfortable in the heat. Get ready to unlock the secrets of a practice that dates back centuries and holds the potential to revolutionize your health journey. In this episode, we go into the captivating world of sauna use and hot therapy, exploring their remarkable impact on longevity, cognition, and heart health. We're going to unveil the science behind these age-old practices, revealing how they ignite a cascade of physiological benefits that transcend time. If you're seeking a natural and rejuvenating way to enhance your well-being, this episode is your ultimate guide to harnessing the power of heat for a healthier, sharper, and more resilient you. Imagine stepping into a world of deep relaxation, where the gentle embrace of warmth not only melts away stress, but also ushers in a wave of benefits, of health benefits that extend far beyond the sauna's doors, from bolstering your heart's vitality to sharpening your cognitive prowess. This episode uncovers the well-documented research that supports these astonishing claims. Whether you're intrigued by the science, seeking holistic ways to maintain your heart's rhythm, or just striving to keep your mind as sharp as a tack, we're going to go into the science of heat and its transformative potential for your health. So let's dive in to discover how elevating your body's temperature could be the key to unlocking a life of vitality and clarity. Now, exercise is king when it comes to optimizing your cognition, your cardiovascular health, and your longevity. If you could put the benefits of exercise into a pill, that pill would be $1 trillion drug. Exercise is king. But certain life circumstances, such as being injured or getting sick, or simply giving in to the aging process, getting older, those things might make engaging in regular exercise difficult for some people. But there's another tool that you can use to get the benefits of exercise: the sauna. And if you don't have access to a sauna, that's no problem. We'll talk about other options that can also give you a lot of benefits. And I just want to give a little shout out here to Drew Prowett, Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Rhonda Patrick. Dr. Rhonda Patrick is one of the OGs in the sauna space, and I borrowed some of the research and studies from these three people to put this episode together. So the Drew Prowett podcast, Andrew Huberman and the Huberman Lab podcast, and Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who has her own podcast as well. Now, the amazing benefits of sauna for cardiovascular health. Saunas mimic exercise by increasing your heart rate and your blood pressure, just like exercise does. But what's even more interesting is what happens to these markers after your sauna session. A study comparing the effects of sauna to riding a stationary bike found similar decreases in heart rate and blood pressure from baseline after the intervention, which is a good thing. Another study in Finnish men showed a 40% reduction in all-cause mortality, 40% from dying from anything, and a 50% reduction in fatal cardiovascular events in those using the sauna 4 to 5 times weekly. And this was versus once a week, because in Finland, everybody has a sauna. There's enough saunas to fit every person, just one person in each sauna in Finland, which is crazy. So the control for every study was 1 time a week, which is not the same as in the United States. So that's not a bad deal for parking your behind on a bench and just sweating it out in the sauna. Regular sauna bathing also increases neuroplasticity. Sauna does amazing things for your brain health and your cognition too. It provides good stress to the body, a topic known as hormesis, which we'll cover in a second. Hormesis is one of my favorite topics, which forces our bodies to level up and perform better, to get a little uncomfortable. And in that uncomfortable feeling is growth. One way it does this is by upregulating the production of something called a heat shock protein, heat shock proteins. And the main job of heat shock proteins is to repair misfolded and damaged proteins that contribute to plaque buildup and the development of Alzheimer's and dementia. In the same Finnish cohort study, engaging in 4 to 7 sauna sessions per week was associated with a 66% lower risk of dementia and a 65% lower risk of Alzheimer's. Whoa! Regular sauna sessions also upregulate the production of a brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which is like Miracle-Gro for the brain. It boosts neuroplasticity, which is the growth of new neurons, the ability to change your brain. And this happens in the hippocampus, which is responsible for learning and memory. And as a bonus, it also helps relieve symptoms of anxiety and depression. The combination of heat shock proteins and brain-derived neurotropic factor and the increase in blood flow to the brain is the ultimate brain-boosting biohack for cognition, memory, learning, mood and focus, and so much more. Sauna is a hormetic stressor, which is the good kind of stress. The heat stress from the sauna activates cellular repair processes, antioxidant pathways, and longevity genes. For example, in addition to the heat shock proteins and the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, the sauna also turns on what's called the NRF2 gene. This is an antioxidant gene that lowers inflammation. And then another gene called the FOXO3 or the FOXO3, which is a longevity gene that promotes healthy aging and stem cell function to provide a healthier environment for the cells that are healthy and want to grow. So it makes the weaker, more dying cells die off, and then it helps the healthier cells grow. Sauna can also help preserve muscle mass. It does this and it boosts your workout gains. So this is why I use the sauna personally after my workouts. Regular sauna sessions have also been shown to protect against sarcopenia, which is muscle loss. And it does this by maintaining mitochondrial strength and density in the muscle tissue. That means that if you're sick, if you're injured, or if you're unable to work out for several days, weeks, or even months at a time, you can use the sauna to prevent the loss of muscle mass, and that seems pretty sweet. What's even sweeter? Exercise and sauna bathing combined can help you double down on your fitness gains even more. So post-hypertrophy training, so post-lifting, so more of strength-based training, not so much like HIIT training or anything like that, where you're jumping around, running around, doing a lot of plyometrics, but hypertrophy training is great to put sauna right afterwards to maximize the benefits of your training. Now, the minimal effective dose, according to the experts, Dr. Andrew Huberman and Dr. Susanna Soberg, who Dr. Susanna Soberg is one of the leading pioneers in hot and cold therapy, who was recently on a Huberman Lab podcast, she recommended a 20-minute session 3 to 4 times per week at about 176 to 212 degrees, anywhere between 176 to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 minutes at a time, 3 to 4 times per week spread out. And Dr. Rhonda Patrick also shared her protocol on the Joe Rogan Experience and the MedCram podcast, which she's on. She says 180 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. And depending on her schedule and her workouts, she'll do 2 to 5 sessions per week. So right around in that same kind of range. It's important to note that Dr. Patrick is heat adapted, so she can handle a longer frequency and duration. However, according to the research, a minimal dose of 20 minutes per session, broken up if you need to, is ideal for cardiovascular health. If you're just getting started with the sauna routine, just like exercise, just like building any habit, you're going to want to start at the lower end. You're going to want to start a little slower. And That is with the time and the temperature range, and then slowly work your way up until you get adapted to the heat. When I first started this, I did 15 minutes 3 times a week. I added a fourth session for 15 minutes 4 times a week, and then I kept it at 4, and I just kept increasing the minutes by about 1 to 2 minutes every week until I got up to 20 minutes. And now I'm doing 20 minutes 4 times a week when my schedule allows. So try this. We know that sauna can serve as an amazing tool for optimizing your brain health, your heart health, and your longevity. But the real question is, how do we find one, or how do we get access to one, right? As always, before getting started with sauna or any related heat therapy interventions, you have to be sure to consult your doctor, but then you also have to be sure that you have access to this kind of therapy. The base level would be to take a hot bath. If you don't have access to a sauna, you can get the similar benefits by taking a hot bath. In one study, a 1-hour hot bath 4 to 5 times per week resulted in significant improvements in blood flow, artery stiffness, and reduced blood pressure. Now, how to do it. If you have a bathtub, fill it all the way up with hot water and immerse yourself, your entire body, chest cavity included, up to your neck. It should be uncomfortable, but bearable. It should be about 100 degrees, 100 to 99 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, here's a disclaimer. Don't do breath work while you're in a hot bath. Don't do breath work when you're in water ever. People have passed out and drowned while doing this. Also, double check that the temperature is what temperature it is before you get in so you don't burn yourself. But if the temperature is going to be lower than a sauna, like 90 degrees, then you're going to want to have to get into that bath for longer, and you're going to have to be up to your neck for most of your body for most of the time. Because if you keep getting in and out, then the temperature isn't going to get to a point that it gets uncomfortable. And when you get uncomfortable, that's where all the benefits are. So bath is going to be like the base level if that's all you can do. And then the next one would be to check your local gyms. So your gym, like the YMCA, I go to LA Fitness. Some gyms and YMCAs and LA Fitnesses, they have saunas and steam rooms available for their members. So check your area for a gym that has a sauna in it. And if you belong to a gym that doesn't have one, maybe you could get with the owner and you could ask if enough members wanted one. How could you kind of jury rig like an infrared sauna or a one-person sauna or something like that if you're allowed to make requests at your gym? And then if that doesn't work, maybe you could get a few friends and go in on a sauna together. Going in on a sauna with a group of friends can help bring down the cost. And I haven't really done this myself, but I've heard stories from friends who do this all the time. They put one in their friend's garage who has the most room. They all go in on it. And then based on everything I've read, most research focuses on traditional infrared saunas, which you can get in your garage fairly cheaply, especially with a bunch of people going in. And that being said, both the traditional and the infrared sauna offer value. There's a little bit of nuance in there, and I prefer the traditional saunas myself. But the key is to just make sure that you are consistent with either to get the best results that you're trying to go for. Now, a great rule of thumb, whatever sauna or whatever, even cold therapy, whatever things you're doing for thermoregulation, a good rule of thumb is when you start to get uncomfortable, that is when the benefits are just starting. And when you're ready to get out, like when your body says, okay, I'm ready to get out, I hit this wall, before you hop out, stop and take 10 breaths, 10 deep breaths, long exhales, and just push just a little bit past that wall. Show yourself that you can be just a little uncomfortable after you want to get out, and then you can get out. Now, be smart about this. Obviously, if you're getting dizzy, if you're starting to get tunnel vision, if you're starting to see stars, like you got to get out immediately. But there's this point where you're going to hit a wall and it's like, oh man, I think I should get out. Breathe 10 deep breaths. And that is when you're really going to start to see the benefits. And if you want to maximize your results, make sure that you make your body get you back to your baseline temperature. And better said, let your body cool itself down on its own after doing the sauna. Or on the other side, let your body heat itself up if you're doing cold therapy. And now if you're doing contrast therapy, meaning you're doing cold and hot together back and forth, if you're looking for energy and you're looking for metabolic boosting effects, end on cold. If you're looking for muscle, hypertrophy, growth, or relaxation, end on hot. And if you enjoyed this episode and you want to go way deeper, you'll love the episode on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who has invested a ton of her work, a ton of her career in the topic of thermoregulation and specifically heat therapy. It changed her life, and she shared how sauna can help provide sedentary or elderly adults who may not be able to work out otherwise with the benefits of exercise. I'm going to include the link of that podcast in the description of this bite-sized brain snack, along with some other links to studies that may help educate you further. Also, if you know someone who is pretty sedentary and may be looking for a foot in the door to help them with their health and fitness and cardiovascular health, then the sauna could be a great segue for getting them primed and ready to start their endurance for their cardio work so that they can start lifting heavier weights and exercising in the near future. And as we conclude on this enlightening hot topic, one thing is clear. The age-old wisdom of heat therapy and sauna use has never been more relevant in our quest for holistic well-being. From ancient traditions to cutting-edge research, the evidence points to the transformative potential of embracing heat. So why not give it a shot? Imagine the sensation of heat enveloping you, a sensation that not only relaxes but rejuvenates, not only soothes but strengthens. The sauna experience becomes a sanctuary where you can nurture your heart, sharpen your mind, and prolong your vitality. Let the lessons from this episode serve as an invitation to step into the world of heat therapy, unlocking a future where wellness and longevity intertwine seamlessly. It's time to embrace the heat, to step into the sauna, and to go on a journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you. And that's it, my friends, for this bite-sized brain snack. Share the knowledge that you gained with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If you enjoyed this content, it helps a ton if you post on your social media stories a screenshot of this episode. And go ahead and add one takeaway that you learned. Make sure that you tag me and share your journey with that takeaway. Tag me at livingthedream_podcast or at coachdamian_SD. And let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. Tell us how you have used heat therapy or any of your experience with the sauna to help you live a healthier life. Message us if you have any questions or tips that would help our Living the Dream team that we can discuss on future episodes. I'm going to be right here with you, working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.